Twitch has now updated their recent policies on bans and violations and the enforcements of such, some of which was actually really good updates and met fairly well, others of which faced a lot of backlash because some of their enforcements are making no sense in the gaming space. So I hope you guys all enjoy, and let's break down their latest announcement. As they took to a good old update saying an update to our enforcement system and focusing on around 96% of active streamers have never received a suspension, which is actually a higher percentage than I ever would have guessed. At the same time, it's important that our enforcement system be fair and we give those who do violate a policy the opportunity to learn, grow, and contribute to our community in positive ways. Something we've had a back and forth on, whether talking about Twitch or YouTube, especially Kick, with their ban enforcements being a bit more lenient than Twitch, in my opinion. And a big premise they used to have, or ones that I think Kick CEO Eddie used to talk about, was giving the opportunity for these streamers to actually learn from their experiences. On the flip side of that, you have Twitch, who commonly will give out 1 or 3 day suspensions again and again and again. And sometimes those bans will be elevated or escalated for some individuals and maybe not others. And it's a very weird enforcement, I will say, because their team seems to be pretty short-staffed and the number of streamers out there is in the thousands and thousands. It is tough to overview, but certainly every platform out there has their flaws when it comes to enforcement, but they all try and say, hey, we want you to learn. We want you to bounce back. It seems that this Twitch update is to try and say, hey, once you get a violation, these will eventually now expire, thus giving you less of a chance to have either escalating punishments or lead to a permanent or indefinite ban on the platform, which I guess makes sense. They continued saying, before today, every violation counted against your account permanently, even minor violations of our rules. This system disproportionately impacted longtime streamers, as over time, multiple minor infractions could result in an indefinite suspension. This process could be purely punitive and one that did not acknowledge community members who had learned from their past mistakes. And again, the irony in this is the enforcement of repeat violations by Twitch has been awful. All right, we have all seen the streamers out there get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, even a double-digit bans, and they do not escalate. So them saying that is a little rich, so we'll see how that's actually enforced. But overall, the premise of this, it makes sense. It's a good update. And so in order to hold users accountable for repeated harmful behavior, we're also introducing escalating consequences. If you violate within the same policy category, i.e., let's say, for instance, hateful conduct, multiple times within the violation's expiration window, so we have 90 days, 1 year, or 2 years, depending on the violation. So 90 days is going to be a lower severity, 1 or 2 years is a higher severity. So if you repeat offense during that time, the length of suspension you receive for each subsequent violation will increase. So now Twitch is saying that if you have repeat violations, those bans will escalate. So they'll go from a 1 day to a 3 day, maybe a 7 day. They will continue to get larger and larger. Something, like I said before, they have not really readily enforced. And again, this is only it's a small percentage of streamers out there who kind of abuse this system for notoriety and to get views by being banned, but it is noticeable. So now they're saying that if you are a repeat offender, you will get escalating bans. I thought this was already a thing, so maybe now it will be. And also saying they will now be giving more detail about violations, so when you're streaming for multiple hours, it can be difficult to know where exactly in the stream the violation occurred, so we're taking additional steps to minimize confusion about what went wrong. Soon, for violations of most of our policies, we'll share the chat message or a snippet of the stream that led to the enforcement. And again, maybe I'm crazy, I thought they promised this a long time ago, but that's good. I mean, at the end of the day, whether they promised it before or not, this should be good. Escalating bans and giving you more clarity on why you're being banned or suspended, that's a great part of this update. Now, the hairy part about this is the images they use and also part of the language they use in their update about the severity of some bans out there. One example was for cheating in online games. So as a streamer, you decide to go live on Twitch and you cheat in the video game you are playing, to which they are calling a low severity violation, which will get you a 1 day ban. And the escalation of this, because it's low severity, will then be a 3 day ban. Thus saying that if you are a Twitch streamer, you can cheat in video games, and even if you're caught, you'll get a 1 day ban. And then if you're caught again, you'll get a 3 day ban, because it is somehow on Twitch a low severity violation to be cheating in video games, which a lot of people, and I would say rightfully so, were very upset about. And for me, this is super confusing because I've covered a lot of hackers and cheaters on Twitch. I think many months ago, probably late last year, covered a guy who went live in Call of Duty, was blatantly hacking. And a lot of these hackers and cheaters that I have seen, I don't know if you guys have seen differently, when they get banned on Twitch, it's this resounding like, yes, they finally got him. If you check back 7 days later, those accounts are unbanned. Typically for a hacker or cheater on Twitch, even if you're streaming yourself doing it, it is a 7-day ban. Now, based on this, it's a low severity thing and it's a 1-day ban, which on the premise and what Twitch was built on, which is playing video games, it seems crazy to me that cheating in them and like live streaming, building an audience by cheating is somehow only a 1-day ban. Maybe I'm crazy though. I don't know what you guys think about that. It's like somehow we've taken now a step back and you have some devs out there, personalities and streamers all agreeing saying, whoa, whoa, whoa. This is just, it feels a bit tone deaf for of all the things. It seemed like overall a pretty good update. And then you hit us with that. And I'm sure it'll be corrected. I just don't know how this even made it into the language because it was also in the official blog post. It was not just in the images. It was in the blog post because they even say you'll be able to track when they expire in the appeals portal. And this information will also be in the enforcement emails that you receive. Most violations committed tend to be low severity, such as cheating in online games, and will expire in 90 days. However, higher severity violations, such as hateful conduct, will remain on the account longer and will expire in 1 to 2 years. So cheating in video games while live on Twitch, low severity, 1 or 3 day ban. Even with repeated offenses, it will eventually expire in 90 days. Pretty much saying, hey, you can cheat in video games on Twitch, even as a high profile streamer, every 90 days, and you're in the clear. Hateful conduct, 1 or 2 years. That seems to be a massive disparity for me, but again, maybe I'm crazy. Overall, it seemed like a decent update. If enforcement is actually followed through on Twitch's end, we await to see. So what do you guys think about this? Will we see an increase of cheaters on Twitch? I have no idea, but I can only hope not. Till next time, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you back here bright and early tomorrow morning.